Hey Bethel, it's Derek, here to consider 1 Thessalonians 4 with you. In verse 13, Paul, the author here, finally gets to the point of addressing the question that the church of the Thessalonians asked him, which prompted his writing of the letter. Do you have anyone in your life like this? Like someone who will elaborate over the course of a paragraph when asked a simple question, when a simple one-word answer would do? I know that my friends watching this video right now are pointing to the screen and saying, "Hey, Derek, that's you." And you know what? They're definitely correct about that. But back to Paul. So the church of the Thessalonians, understanding correctly that Jesus will one day soon have his second coming when he returns to earth as a conquering lamb, fully eradicating sin, death, and the devil, well, they're just a little confused and concerned about what that means. In particular, what about the people who have faith in Jesus, but die before his second coming? Will the same thing happen to those who died as those Christians still on earth when Jesus comes again? Well, Paul first tackles their question by talking about grief. When someone we love dies, grief is a good, healthy, and natural response to their absence. And we don't want to skip that process because we are so fixated on all the questions about what happens next. We are told to grieve the loss, but to grieve in a way that is different than the world. As Christians, we are to grieve with hope. And these two ideas, they might seem exclusive and opposite, but Paul is saying that we can hold them both in tension at the same time. But why and how do we have hope in these moments? Well, in answering the Thessalonians' question, Paul arrives at these words in the end of verse 17. And so we will always be with the Lord. And that's it, really. No caveats or calls to action. Regardless of our present state, when Jesus comes again, we need to be reminded that we will always be with the Lord. What Jesus secured for us during his time on earth, by being born sinless, by living a perfect life, dying on a cross, and being resurrected, well, this is a permanent, unshakable, unlosable, eternal place with God. This isn't based on anything we have done, but he gives this standing to us purely by his grace. We accept it through faith, and no matter how much we think we mess up, we cannot lose this perfect relationship because it was secured for us by Jesus. And fittingly, Paul ends by saying, encourage one another with these words. And I think that's why he spent 3 chapters reminding the Thessalonians about who they are in Jesus and the riches that they have through Jesus. Because this is encouraging, and it puts all of the rest of life into its proper size. Now, may we spend far more time dwelling on the person of Jesus than our questions about the future, and may you be encouraged, Bethel, by your eternal security in Jesus. Go and be blessed.